What's up guys? Today we'll be taking a quick look at the Google Nest Mini 2nd generation. Now, I've had this thing for a while now and I've been thinking, why not make a quick review video for those who are considering to buy it or for those that just bought it and want to know what it can do for them. So if that's you, let's get into the video to know more about the Google Nest Mini. Google Home Mini, the Google Nest Mini, and the Google Home Max are all smart speakers that can act as smart home control stations and as personal assistants for the entire family. With built-in Google Assistant, the Mini can recognize up to 6 different voices and can be used to stream entertainment throughout the home, to get local information, to hear the news daily, to get answers from Google, to play games, and even control the other smart home devices you have. We'll talk about that more in the video. You can also set timers, alarms, reminders, and set your daily routines with the Google Mini. It works with many of Google's services like YouTube Music, Google Duo, Google Calendar, and even other Google devices like the Chromecast. It also works with companies like Netflix and Spotify, so if you have an account for either of them, you can now stream your favorite playlists on your Google Mini, or even stream your favorite movies or TV shows.
Google has also added a mounting hole at the back of the Nest Mini, so you can now hang it on a wall instead of placing it flat on a surface. I actually really like this, so I placed it on the wall of my living room.
So now the Google Nest Mini comes in 4 different colors: charcoal, coral, chalk, and sky. We actually have the chalk one. I kind of liked it when I first saw it, so I bought that one. And the Google Nest Mini is made of fabric, and that fabric is made from recycled plastic, and I kind of find that interesting as well. So now there are 3 different ways in which we can control or operate our Google Mini. One is the capacitive or touchscreen controls on the device.
Using the touchscreen controls on the device, you can turn the volume up or down and tap the center to play and pause any media that's being played on the Google Mini. The small lights on the left and right are the volume buttons, and usually when the lights in the middle become less visible, you are lowering the volume, and when the lights become more visible, the volume is going up. You must also turn on the mic button at the back of the Mini in order for it to be able to listen to your voice when using voice control. When the lights on the device turn orange, it indicates that your Mini's mic is turned off.
In which we can operate or control our Google Nest Mini is through voice control. And I think voice control is the most common and preferred way that most people usually operate this device. Now, with improved voice recognition on this device, you must first say, "Hey Google" or "Okay Google" in order to trigger a response from the Mini for your questions or commands. And also make sure that the mic on the back is turned on first.
The mic's back on.
So after saying "Hey Google" or "Okay Google" before making a command or asking the Mini a question, or asking Google a question actually, the Mini will display 4 white dots in the center, and that is to indicate that it is listening to whatever you have to say to them.
I've also left the website for the Google Store in the description below, so you guys can learn more about what you can do with voice command on the Google Nest Mini. So as I said earlier, you can get answers from Google for a variety of things, from translations to nutritional info, finance, stocks, calculations, unit conversions, recipes, and just general facts and info. You can also use the Google Nest Mini as a local guide to get information about local weather, traffic, and important dates. You can use voice control to stream and control entertainment throughout your home, and the multi-room audio feature allows you to transfer the audio that's being played on one Google speaker to another, but you just need to have more than one at home. You can use voice control to control your other smart home devices at home. We'll get to that in a bit more detail soon. command your audio from music to podcast to audiobooks, radio, and you can also play interesting games like Trivia and Akinator with voice control on the Google Mini.
So to talk in depth about voice controls on the Google Mini, there's a feature called Continued Conversations. And I think this feature was designed to make your conversations with the Google Mini seem more like talking to another human rather than talking to just a machine. So what this Continued Conversations feature does is that after an initial exchange with your Google device or Google Assistant, like exchange meaning you make it a command or you ask it a question and it gives you a response. It will listen for another 10 seconds for a follow-up question or maybe another command. So this is better because you don't have to say hey Google or okay Google each time. So for example, hey Google, what is the capital of Australia?
Canberra is the capital of Australia.
How many people live there?
In 2016, the population of Canberra, Australia was 395,790.
See, I didn't have to say hey Google or okay Google again. I just have to say another question as long as it's within 10 seconds of your first command or question. Google has also said that it has improved the Mini's ability to detect your voice in loud surroundings and to project the voice of your assistant according to the noise of its surrounding environment. So like for example, if the dishwasher is on in your house or the vacuum cleaner is on in your house and your Google Mini is near that sound of the vacuum cleaner and you ask it a question or make a command, the assistant will in return project a sound that is louder, usually louder than what it would in a quiet environment. So the third way in which we can control or operate our Google Nest Mini is through the Google Home app, which can be installed on iPhone, Android, and even your tablet.
So in the Google Home app, you can invite more than one person to see what's going on or to just control whatever you have in the app. So from here, if you have a smart home device paired with your Google Mini, you can control it. You can also play or pause any media on the app, like music, for example. And you can also send broadcasts through the Google Home app, as well as through voice control. So to talk more in depth about the broadcast feature, when you tell Google Assistant to broadcast a message, it will send a audio snippet to the other devices in a home so you can tell everyone something important. Like for example, to tell everyone it's time for dinner, you can use this broadcast function. And I think this broadcast thing was introduced or enabled to be interactive with the others at your home, even if you are away. And I guess to just encourage you to buy more than one device. You can also adjust the settings of your Google Assistant and provide it with certain information in order to serve you better. And also features like Assistant Voice, where you can change the voice that your Google Assistant projects. And also you can sync your shopping list, notes, calendars, and reminders through Google Assistant with your, I guess, Gmail account. You can also select the services that you wish to use to play music, like YouTube Music or Spotify, your favorite radio stations, which news stations you would want to play. And I think this Google Home app is particularly useful when you're not able to use voice control, maybe when you're far away from the Mini or just outside. Another feature that I really enjoy about the Google Mini is the Create Routines feature. And routines are voice commands that you can customize to carry out multiple actions at once by just saying a keyword.
So for example, you can say, hey Google, good morning. And it will take it as a cue or a signal to play the news, to tell about your commute, to maybe turn off the lights or to turn up the thermostat. You just have to make sure you program it in the Google Home app. So we will now explore how we can control our smart home with the Google Nest Mini. So Google works in partnership with companies like D-Link, Nest, Honeywell, Leviton, and Philips. And Many of their products are compatible with Google Assistant, but you just have to make sure. Like usually it's written on the box, or you can visit the Google Store website to see which brands and which products are compatible with your Google Assistant. Like I have the Nest Thermostat and the Philips Hue color bulbs, and both of them which are compatible with Google Assistant, and I'm able to control both of them through voice control on my speaker and through the Google Home app. So for example, like we'll look at my Philips Hue color bulbs. So the red light in the background, we can change it into whatever color they have, and we can also adjust the brightness. So for example, hey Google, change my lights into blue.
Okay, changing 3 lights to blue.
Hey Google, dim my lights.
Okay, dimming 3 lights.
I don't think you can see that in the video, but you can also dim and adjust the brightness with voice control on Google. For my Nest thermostat, you can adjust the settings. Like for example, hey Google, change my thermostat to 20.
Okay, setting the Nest thermostat to 20 degrees.
So if you guys are considering to buy a Google Smart Speaker for the first time, then I would suggest trying out the Google Nest Mini. See how it goes, and you might find it interesting as well. So that's it guys. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable as well. And I thank you all very much for taking the time to watch this video. We will meet again in another one. Thank you.